Hey everyone, hope you all doing great. Welcome back to Python series. In this video, I'm going to discuss about, list functions. We all know that list is a data structure which is used to store information. And we have already learned about, how to create a list. The first way of creating list is using square bracket and then just listing out the values. This is going to help you in creating a list. Okay, this is the first method. Second method is going to be, you can also create a same list using list function. So list is an inbuilt function which allows you to create a list. You can just call list function and within a tuple, you can just pass list of elements. And even this was going to help you in creating a list. Okay, done. Next important thing that you need to understand is the properties of a list. The first property of a list is lists are ordered. Ordered in the sense indexing and slicing is possible. Let's say, for example, you have a list like this and you want to access an element. We know we have already studied about indexing and slicing. Just a quick recap. Let's say I want to fetch the first element. You just use A of 0. So similarly, what if I want to fetch multiple elements or range of elements? I can just specify, let's say I want first two elements. I can say 0 colon 2 so that it will return value at a zeroth index and a first index. So the first property of a list is ordered. That means all the elements are arranged in specific order so that we can perform indexing and slicing. It's just like when people are arranged in proper format, it's easy for us to identify who is sitting in which place. Right? If they are like random, it's difficult for us to identify. Okay. So next important thing is list allows duplicates. You can create a list with duplicate elements. See, list has a capacity to hold repetitive values. See, even if I try to put repetitive values in a list, it creates. So that's another property of a list which allows duplicates. Next important thing, we know that, third property is lists are mutable. So what do you mean by mutable? We call it like a mutable because we can modify, we can change, we can delete. Lot many things could be done with the help of a list. It's like once you create a list, you can edit a list. You can add some new element, you can delete an element, right? You can change existing element. All those things is possible. So we'll discuss more about mutability in our list methods. As of now, in our list functions, I'll just show you how you can change list element using indexing and a slicing. Okay, let's say for example, you have a numbers like this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So let's say my question is, I just want to change 10 to 100. In the place of 10, I just want 100. Use an indexing concept. We know that how to fetch the first element, just use A of 0. Okay, so A of 0 is equal to, now you have to change it with a new value which is 100. Now just try to print A and see the changes. This is how we can change list elements using indexing. You can also change multiple values as well. Let's say, for example, you have all these numbers, right? Yeah. Let's say I just want to change 10, 20 as 100 and 200. We change 10 as 100 and let's change 20 as 200. Okay. Yeah, so I'll just call A off. We know slicing, right? How to fetch 10 and 20. I'll just 0 colon 2 because I want values at first index, zeroth index, and first index, right? Which is equal to. Since I want to change multiple elements, make sure you pass a new elements with a list like this. Okay, and now let me try to print A. Look, 10 got changed as 100 and 20 got changed as a 200. So that's the reason we call it like, lists are mutable. We can modify, we can change, you can add new element, you can delete an element. Adding and deleting definitely will study in our list methods. Hope this was clear. Okay. So next important thing is, there are certain list functions. Functions in the sense you all know, it's a standalone tool which are not related to any specific object. So these are the general purpose functions which can be used even on tuple. You can use even on a set as well. Okay. So first function is basically the length. You know why length is used? It is used to find the number of elements. If you want to know about the number of elements in a list, then you can just use a length. Let's say you have a list here. I want to know how many elements are there. Just use length of E. So 6 elements. Next important thing is like a max. Like what if you want to find maximum element in a list? So how do you find a maximum element in a list? You just need to apply a max. Max is again a standalone tool which is applied on any object. It's going to tell you about a maximum element. So similarly, the minimum element. You can just call minimum of A. It's going to give us a minimum element, which is 1. What if you want to find sum? Sum of all the elements in a list. In that case, you can just use a sum function. Just see sum of A. It's going to take all the elements in your list like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus so on. It's going to give us like a 21, though we have like 1 to 6 numbers. So next important functions that you have to study is like a type. You all know what is type. Type is used to know what type of object we have it, right? Yes, is it a list? Is it a tuple? To know that we just usually use a type function. It says that it's a list. Next important thing, we have a range. You know what is range? Range is basically used to generate numbers. Range is a function used to generate numbers. So how you can generate a numbers? Let's say, for example, you want to generate 0 to 5. Okay, if you want to generate 0 to 5 elements, you can just use list. First, you have to call a list, then use a range, because range is going to generate a multiple values, right? In order to store that, we have to give a list. Okay, again, list is a function. So list of range of how many elements we want, basically 0 to 5 means 6 elements, right? Just give us 6. Can you see? It is generating values by default from 0 to 5. If you give just one number, by default, it always starts generating values from 0. Let's say if I give 10, it generates values from 0 to 9 because end value is not included. Okay, here 10 is representing the number of elements, 6 is representing the number of elements starting from 0. So now I have specific question. What if I need to generate numbers from 1 to 5 and 5 should be included? Okay, in that case, you have to use a rule like, range is equal to, you have to specify the start index and you have to specify the end index plus 1. Always remember, in a range, the end value is not included. So basically, you have to provide it one value extra than what you are expecting. So I wanted till 1 to 5, right? See, if I give like starting index as 1, end index, if I give it a 5, it's not including end value because that's a property. Okay, if you want 5 to be included, then make sure you give 6 so that it will generate values from 1 to 5. So that's the reason I said that end value in our range is not included. Okay. So next important thing, what if I need to generate elements based on certain step? Let's say I want even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So how do you generate? So in this case, range is going to take, yeah. So it will take first value is going to be step, that's the first parameter. Then end index plus 1 because end value will not be included. And then you have to tell a step. Step in the sense like a difference between the numbers. So among 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, what is the difference do you notice? There is a 2 difference, right? Yeah. So I'll call a list. So list of range of, I want from 2, that's a starting index. I wanted 10 should be included. So I'll just take it 11. And the difference between two elements, 4 minus 2 is a 2, 6 minus 4 is a 2. So I'm taking step as a 2. Done. So this is all about a range function, which is going to help you in generating the numbers. Okay. So next important function that you need to master is basically enumerate. You know what is enumerate? So enumerate basically used to get index numbers. Enumerate is used to get index numbers. So what do you mean by index numbers? So basically, let's say, for example, you have this list. I'll just call like A is equal to, this is our list. You know what is the index of 2, right? It's a 0. Index of 4 is 1, then 2, 3, 4. So when you have so many elements in a list, probably it might be difficult for us to identify the index numbers. In that case, what we do, we just use a concept called as an enumerate. So what you can do, you can just say list of enumerate of past year list. Always remember, even unlike, range, enumerate is also going to generate a multiple values. So you have to use it with a list. Just look, it is giving you elements like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and also giving you corresponding index numbers. So that's an interesting thing about, enumerate. Okay. So next important function is like a sorted. Sorted is a function which is used to sort list elements in increasing or decreasing order. But if you want to sort elements in increasing or decreasing order, so in that case, this sort is basically useful. Okay, so I have a list of elements here. I just want to arrange them in increasing or decreasing order. I'll just call sorted of A. See, everything got arranged in increasing order, right? From smallest to highest. So if you want in a reverse order, decreasing order, you can just use sorted of A and colon colon minus 1. So double colon minus 1 will give you whatever result you have it in ascending order, will get it in a descending order. Okay, so this is ascending, increasing order, smallest to highest, and this is going to be descending, wherein values are decreasing, highest to lowest. So this is all about the different list functions that you need to master. Stay tuned for list methods. Thank you. Happy learning.